ComixWatch. ComixWatch. ComixWatch.
Now I am become death, the destroyer of worlds.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to this week's episode of ComixWatch. I am the friendly neighborhood Nick Gibson, and joining me is the...
I'm Batman.
Yes, it's Jared for Comics League.
I
you
had
ever
to.
ruined my thunder, buddy.
Or actually, can I do one more?
Lois Lane sucks.
Well, the only answer to that I have is...
Of course.
Thank you.
Oh, God. So yeah. I basically kind of want to do a discussion topic today. It's a pretty interesting one. Like we talk about, like we always talk about like our favorite characters, what character's popular, what character's not. But there tends to be two characters that kind of stand out above the rest. Okay, and so I want to talk about. I was thinking about these characters, and I realized they're kind of popular for similar reasons. And so I want to touch upon it today, compare and contrast, and then maybe we can learn something like how to create good characters, how not to create good characters.
In other words, don't do anything Marvel editorial does. That will become apparent as we go on with this discussion.
Yes. I was hoping we could have one more day without that, but you know. Well, enough of our past sins. Let's just get into the topic.
Having flashbacks, old man.
Oh, PTSD is going mad right now.
Well, I should too, because remember, I read the Batman one.
Okay. That at least was like 4 pages.
That was at least 4 pages. I know, that was like quick. I was like speeding through that.
Everybody, so I just want to take a moment to thank our sponsor, me. And this video is sponsored by the Phoenix Press, and in particular the novel Lost Kingdom, which is currently out on pre-launch on Kickstarter. It's a fantasy novel set in space. Yes, I'm very much a dork. It's a story of a man who makes a choice, he regrets it, and now 15 years later he's had to confront that choice, and things aren't as peachy. It's a fantasy sci-fi novel, kind of think Star Wars from Obi-Wan's perspective. It is currently in pre-launch on Kickstarter. The link will be in the description below. Sign up to be notified when we go live. Jared, anything you want to add?
I've read a bunch of this, and it's actually very good. It's very fun, and there's a lot of references in there.
Yes, Lost Kingdom. It is officially endorsed by Comics League. Yes, check it out if we could. And now I return you to your regularly scheduled one. So we're going to talk about why people love Batman and Spider-Man so much. Because I think they're probably two of the most popular Western comic book superheroes.
If not the most popular, honestly.
I mean, Spider-Man merchandise alone makes more money than Marvel. So there's that for you. And basically, I feel like the reasons people like them are very similar. So to me, I think like the one that kind of stands out to me, first and foremost, is relatability. Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
The thing about Spider-Man and Batman is they're both human.
Well, yeah, and wasn't like the impetus for creating Spider-Man was Stan Lee was like, I want to have a teenage superhero, because previously you had the teenage sidekick, but you never had a primary superhero that was a teenager, and he like caught colds. He like had to worry about homework, and it was like stuff a regular teenager was dealing with, but he was also a superhero.
Yeah, like the quintessential classic Spider-Man story is he's fighting Green Goblin uptown. Meanwhile, Aunt May is dying of a sickness, and Spider-Man has the medicine that he needs to get to her. But Green Goblin is threatening the lives of all these people, so he needs to beat up Green Goblin and get the cold medicine to Aunt May. Like, he could go and save Aunt May, but like he has to defeat the Green Goblin first. Like, that's kind of like the quintessential Spider-Man story.
Parker Luck.
There.
That's the
yeah,
Parker
and
Luck
then with
right
Batman, the thing is, he's human, and that's the same thing with Spider-Man is, if either of these characters catch a bullet, like they go down.
Yeah, it's like the thing about Batman is that he's the one human in a world with gods. Like any one of the people he works with on a daily basis in the Justice League could like burn the whole planet down or kill him, and he with very little effort. But Batman is like, I'm just a dude. I'm hanging out with gods, and oftentimes he's the one saving their asses. Sometimes unjustifiably because of freaking Bat God. Thanks, Grant Morrison. But still, the point is like he's a human, but he's in many ways just as capable as like Superman.
Yeah, it's like the one person people fear on the Justice League is Batman. One person.
It's kind of funny. So, did you ever read Identity Crisis?
No.
So that was a story. It was basically a murder mystery story. This is what led into Batman creating the Brother Eye and the Omax. So, ignoring all that, so there was this part. So Batman is like being a kind of an asshole to the Justice League. So he teleports back to the League, and turns out the League has been wiping the minds of supervillains and turning them into respectable citizens. Batman finds out, and they wipe his mind of the incident. So Flash goes, "You don't do that to Batman. He's gonna kill us." He's like the one person that everyone of the Justice League is like, "Do not mess with this guy."
Yeah, because Batman will find out. Like, Batman's smart enough to realize, wait, there's a hole in my memory. Why is there a hole in my memory? And then he's gonna go ahead and fill that hole in the memory and restore it. And yeah, he'd be pissed.
He even has a backup operating system in his mind.
Yes. So the Bat Brain runs on Linux.
Yeah, exactly. At least it doesn't run on Microsoft Windows. Yeah. But anyway,
no. So Batman has a custom distribution of Linux that he runs a Bat computer with. It's called Bat OS.
So in other words, he's the boss.
Yeah, by the holy crap! Oh,
there you go.
Also, for the record, my source is that I made it up.
Not bad, honestly. You created two puns at once. Well done, sir.
By the way, when I write Batman, I'm totally right.
You got to do that, dude. You can't not do that. And what you should do, the gasoline that goes in the Batmobile has like a fish on it because it's called bat gas. In other words, and you take out the G, so it makes bass. A lot of the Bat gear is from Bass Pro Shops. There you go. I'm making Nick cringe.
Buddy. And the thing about Spider-Man is not only is he human, he can be shot. The thing that I really like about Spider-Man is he's a bit of a floater when it comes to like the level of superhero-dom. Like, he's a character where he's weak enough that he can hang with the street level superheroes. Like Spider-Man teaming up with Luke Cage. Like, Spider-Man is a character who can team up with Luke Cage and then punch Thanos in the face.
Yeah, exactly. Fun facts about that. So when He Who Must Not Be Named did the new Avengers, he asked to put Spider-Man on the team. So Marvel editorial is like, well, Spider-Man's more of a loner. And he goes, if he's a loner, why did he headline a series called Spider-Man Teams Up with Blank?
Merchandising.
He literally had... No, it was a series where Spider-Man teams up with practically every superhero. So Marvel editorial
why
is
there
like...
a cartoon called Spider-Man and His Amazing
Friends? Exactly. So I'm like, what are you doing here? And it turned out to be one of the most popular like parts of the Avengers.
Yeah. Well, I don't agree with putting Spider-Man on the younger teams. It depends on his age, really. But
yeah,
most regular Spider-Man, but the thing is, you're not gonna see Superman teaming up with like Green Arrow for day-to-day crime busting. You know? Because Superman's he's a little bit too big for purse snatching.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean. Whereas Batman, he's kind of a little bit too big, but he's not above it. Like he'll stop the purse snatching.
Well, he's the type of guy that if a guy is going to purse snatch and he sees the bat signal, the dude pulls a U-turn and goes, "Nope, not dealing with this." That's why I love that. I love the beginning of Dark Knight where like they're about to do a drug deal. The dude looks up and looks at the bat signal. He's like, "Nope, I'm out."
I mean, that's the beginning of the Batman. I actually really like the setup where it's like the bat signal shows that Batman is in town. And
then they're looking at all the shadows, all the dark corners of town. They're like,
see, this is what I love the psychology of the Batman, where it's like, so do you really want to take that chance? Like 9 times out of 10, you'll probably get away scot-free. But is this that one time in 10?
Is it this one time where he's going to be in that street corner waiting for you? Do you really want to risk that? And Lord knows you'll either be killed or like brutally turn into a vegetable.
I'm vengeance.
Yeah, exactly. So I'm like, do you really want to screw with your chances? Honestly, at that point, even if it's a 90% chance I'm gonna get off scot-free, I'm not taking that chance.
Yeah, I love like the guy knocks up the liquor store. He sees it. You can see him like start shaking in fear. He drops money. He runs.
Yeah, he's like, I'm out. No, I didn't touch it. You can't prove it's me, Batman.
Yeah. So the other big thing, and I think this is kind of the key thing, and I think this is something that's really lost upon a lot of modern writers. A hero is only as good as their villain.
Yeah,
and this is kind of the impetus for this episode is Batman and Spider-Man are 2 characters who have like the most iconic rogues gallery. Okay, So Jared, name off some Flash villains.
Reverse Flash, Captain Cold, Captain Boomerang, Mirror Master, Gorilla Grodd. So that's 5. Zoom.
Okay. Name Spider-Man villains.
Green Goblin, Sandman, Hydro Man, Mysterio, Dr. Octopus, of course. In a way, Taskmaster, but he's everyone's villain. Probably, see who else. Sometimes Black Cat, maybe.
Name Batman villains.
Joker, Riddler, Mr. Freeze. At first, Catwoman, Clayface, Ra's al Ghul, Talia al Ghul in some iterations, Deathstroke. Yes, I'm saying that even though he's a Titans villain. Darkseid, does Darkseid count?
Well, here's my point. Notice how easy it was for you to name out the Spider-Man and the Batman villains, and you could name more of them. Well, you actually did struggle a little bit with the Flash villain.
A little bit, because I'm not as religious as a Flash reader, even though I have a shelf just for the Flash.
Well, like most people.
Name
Green Lantern villains.
Sinestro, Atrocitus, Necron, Archillo, Bleeze, Dexter, or the Orange Lantern. What's Larfleeze?
Yeah. Notice how it's taking you a second to think of them.
And this is coming from a guy that reads a crap ton of Green Lantern.
But with the Spider-Man villains, you were just rattling them off. Like they were at the top of your head. And that's my point. These villains are iconic. Like the general public knows who the Joker is.
For the most part, they know. Like this way, the general public knows more of Batman's villains than they do, like say Wonder Woman's villains and Spider-Man than Wonder Woman. You know why that is? I think because they've used more of them in the movies.
Well, it's not just that; it's also iconicness of it. Like with Wonder Woman, it's Cheetah. Really, and Cersei. Those are the
they've only used, but that's my point. If you got more movies where they used like Dr. Psycho, Giganta, more of the villains that she has, I think those villains would become a little more well known. That's why. That's why Batman's villains got a boost because they appeared in. I'm gonna admit this: the Adam West show.
Well, yeah, there's history behind it, but also Spider-Man's villains are also iconic in their own right. And yes, they have shown up a lot. And there is a bit of a momentum thing where like these characters have been popular, like top tier characters for so long. There's been so many adaptations where they've had a chance to like enter the zeitgeist. A lot of these characters haven't had that. So I get that.
Well, not only that, the way these characters are characterized, Marvel and DC, respectively, with like Spider-Man and the Joker, go really hard into the empathy of the villains. Like, you understand that they're not necessarily doing this because they're like straight up evil. They're doing this because like they're desperate. In the case of Freeze.
Well, the problem is, you have other Rogues Gallery. Like the Flash's Rogues Gallery also benefits from a lot of empathy. Like I think,
Yeah.
you know, a lot of his. But the
the
problem is, you know, the characters. The problem with the Flash's villains is they're a bit generic. Like, oh, it's Captain Cold. Oh, it's Captain Boomerang. It's Mirror Master. It's like,
Well, the other problem with the Flash is that his main villain is just an evil him. Same thing with Green Lantern. All of his villains, except for like Simon or like no, except for Hector Hammond, are pretty much evil Green Lantern.
well, and his other iconic villain, Captain Cold, gets overshadowed by Mr. Freeze because like people confuse him for Mr. Freeze. Like DC has a surprising amount of like ice villains, like Icicle Jr., Killer Frost. You know.
Well, it's like even I mean, even when it comes to Superman, you notice how two Superman villains are basically evil Superman, Cyborg Superman, and Bizarro.
Well, Superman's problem is kind of a unique case because he is so powerful.
Oh, that's true. That is true as well.
See, a lot of villains tend to have like a good villain is a foil to the hero, and the reason why Batman's villains are so iconic is they all empathize a certain element of Batman's psychology. Okay,
Yeah.
Like Two-Face is his dual identity. The Joker is madness.
The Riddler is his intelligence.
Exactly, and they all kind of like that kind of thing. Whereas, to be fair, a lot of Spider-Man's villains are animalistic, but they're also a lot of them are also just like Peter, where they're victims of circumstance.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a lot of them didn't ask for their powers, and a lot of the villains just serve to reinforce the. Because the other thing with Spider-Man is very few, like there are very few characters where you can boil a character down to a single phrase. And Spider-Man has that. Everyone knows it. Great power must also come great responsibility.
Mm-hmm.
Or with great power comes great responsibility. Everyone knows that phrase.
Mm-hmm.
And that is literally the core of Spider-Man's character. And a lot of these characters empathize that.
And with Batman, you always have that. Actually, what's kind of funny, Batman kind of has that, where like the one thing that the one common thread with a lot of these villains is one bad day,
or a line. You know, you know, like with Batman, there's like lines like "I do not cross this line," and a lot of these villains,
unless I find a loophole.
It's like, this is not a gun; it does not shoot bullets.
But it shoots a ball that moves at the velocity. Look this way: my Batmobile, my Bat Tank in Arkham Knight has a gun. Is a tank, has a gun on it, and it shoots.
This is not a car,
but it shoots them with beanbags at like velocity.
I shoot non-lethal armor-piercing bullets. I got them from Jason Todd.
Oh my gosh! Let me put it this way: I cringed so hard when I heard that in Gotham Knights. To the point where I rewound the dialogue to make sure I didn't mishear them.
Yeah, I think the game itself kind of realizes how ridiculous it is, and they kind of call them out on it.
Well, that's why I'm like, can Hollywood stop trying to use technical gun terms because they have no idea what they're talking about.
Another thing, like, I'm sorry, we're just getting into this tangent. The thing I love about the Arkham games is whenever you beat opponents to senseless and you go to Arkhamvism, they always make sure to say they're still alive.
Yeah, when they wouldn't be. Like, if you, like, tie someone up to a gargoyle and then drop them, the dude lands on his neck.
I must break you. But and also the other thing is, another thing I love is when these characters unleash themselves. Like, some of my favorite Spider-Man stories is when Spider-Man stops holding back. Because Spider-Man is kind of low-key one of the strongest people in his universe.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
He's He's not Hulk levels, obviously. He's not like, but he's really strong. I actually love like the MCU how they low key kind of just said that we're like how Bucky tried to you have a metal arm. That's all. Like he caught it with one hand. He's holding with one hand. He's not even struggling.
Well, and also, he went toe to toe with Captain America.
Yeah, and the only reason Cap won is because he was a better fighter.
No, I think in the Zeb Wells one, Peter won.
Well, if an experienced fighter Peter versus experienced Cap, Peter would probably win. Okay, let's actually, since we're doing a Batman Spider-Man,
well, remember, I'm still recovering from when you said Wonder Woman would get defeated by Spider-Man.
I think Spider-Man could do it.
No. I'm sorry, dude. That is a major red flag, dude.
Spider-Man is probably just as strong as Wonder Woman, if not stronger. He's more
not as
agile.
fast as Wonder Woman. He's not. She's willing to use lethal force.
No. The speed thing is kind of a bit evened out by the spider sense. He could dodge Wonder Woman's attacks fairly easily because of the spider sense. Remember, the spider sense borders on precognition.
Okay.
Spider-Man can dodge bullets, okay?
All she has to do is get one hit in with her strength, and he's gone.
Spider-Man's pretty durable.
You're dealing with a character that went up against the Reverse Flash and defeated the Reverse Flash going at full speed.
Reverse Flash is a glass cannon.
What does that mean?
A glass cannon is someone who's really powerful, but not very durable.
No, but I'm saying in terms of speed.
See, Spider-Man's speed is
here's what the movies don't really show you, except in the Snyder Cut, ironically. Wonder Woman's really freaking fast.
Yeah, but Spider-Man's faster. Like, he can't, like, when it comes to dodging her attacks, he can dodge them with very ease because of the spider sense.
And he can't. All she has to do is get one slice in with the sword. He's now the one-armed Spider-Man. Oh, another one. He's now the one-armed and one-legged Spider-Man.
That's going to be pretty hard to do, though. Like, really hard. Spider sense. Spider-Man can, like, I'm sorry, Wonder Woman does not move faster than bullets.
She's fought enemies that have precognition.
Spider-Man has a chance.
I'm not saying he doesn't have a chance, but I'm saying she's fought enemies that have roughly his powers.
But
and murdered them.
The problem with Spider-Man is he has a very unique moveset that's hard to counter.
Again, Wonder Woman has fought I believe she fought the DC version of Spider-Man that has his same powers. I'm just telling you, dude, I could do this all day.
But let's shift the conversation. Spider-Man versus Batman. That's
a fairer argument. I can take that debate.
See,
no prep time, Batman. No prep time. Just the stuff he has on him.
See, the thing is, I can see Batman like being like, okay, like, because here's the thing about Spider-Man. He'll still fight in a pattern, and Batman will pick up on that pattern pretty easily.
I was about to say Batman will definitely identify the pattern. And
the thing about Peter is when he's like going around is the web swing, and Batman will identify the web shooters, and I think Batman could disable the web shooters.
Yeah, because, and this is my argument for if he ever were to fight Iron Man, because I guarantee you Batman has a portable short-range EMP on his belt. He just shorts out the web shooters. Then all of a sudden Spider-Man can't, like, swing around.
Yeah, I mean, Spider-Man's still a pretty big threat.
And let me put this right, even without the web shooters, yeah, now he has to contend with the precognition and the super strength. So it's not like it's not like with Iron Man where you EMP him and then you kick his ass. It's not like that.
Well, the thing is, the web shooters themselves are a powerful weapon. Like, not only are they a traversal tool, you can also use it to web people up, and like it's like a lot of times Peter uses it as like an arm extension or like a grabbing thing. But the thing is, Spider-Man without it, he has the agility. He can still crawl and stick to walls. The precognition. He's still pretty powerful, but you take out a huge source of power, which is the web shooters.
Yeah, I would say the fight is more fair when you take out the web shooters, which Batman can do easily. Now, when we take out the web shooters, how does that fight go? Because I'm kind of half and half on who wins. I'm at 50-50 Spider-Man
Well,
Batman.
here's the thing. With the web shooters, Spider-Man would probably fight from a distance, okay? Because while Spider-Man is more powerful in hand-to-hand, you don't want Batman to get close.
Nope. No. And the thing about
you don't
it is,
know, like what if Batman has Joker Venom on him and he just slaps him or whatever?
yeah, and
like you don't know what Batman could do, like gets close to you. All right,
but even on that, Batman actually has like some acid pellets or an acid gun on him, so he could just take out the webs.
Yeah, but the problem is him swinging from the webs. And so you're trying to go for like distance strikes or whatever, or try and web him up from a distance because that's Peter's a get in and get out kind of fight.
The thing about trying to web up Batman is that he has those arm gauntlets that have blades on them, so he could just.
Yes, but it's still a temporary disability.
It's still a temporary. I'm like, yeah. See, the reason why I'm like with Wonder Woman, the reason why I'm less like committed to Batman winning than I was with Wonder Woman is because, yeah, you could take out the webs, but then Batman has fought like Superman, but he had an anti-Superman suit at the time, and we're establishing no prep time.
And the thing is, Peter, while he's a good fighter, he doesn't have much fighter intelligence. Like when it comes to fighting, Peter is more just overpowered / he's a tricky fighter. Like he's more just like, oh, I got you, kind of thing. Batman is more of a trained fighter. He knows more of the mechanics of fighting, and obviously pattern recognition.
I feel like Batman would be able to like identify Peter Parker's fighting style and kind of use that to dodge the majority of the attacks and then wait for an opening.
Yeah, exactly. Because like look at Captain America. Another great example because Captain America identified, okay, Peter, you're essentially a good guy. I'm gonna take out these supports and like throw a thing on you. You'll be safe, but you'll pretty much be disabled because he can't move.
But honestly, in terms of who wins in this fight, I kind of say half to Spider-Man, half to Batman, because I could see it going either way.
I look at the Captain America versus Peter fight from Civil War.
Yeah,
to kind of give you an example, because it's very similar on how it will go
they fought
down.
in Civil War.
Yeah, in the airport fight.
Oh, you mean in the movie, not the comic?
In the movie.
Okay.
Because you notice how the first few times with the webbing, like Cap was getting it, then he recognized the pattern and they used the momentum.
Yeah.
And he smacked Peter with the shield.
He even cut the web with the shield.
Exactly. So Batman would do the same thing, just on another level. So that's why I'm using that fight as kind of an example of what would happen.
Because when you think about it, Captain America is in many ways the Batman of Marvel, because he has like the intelligence in many ways, I would say.
Similar to, but not.
Except here's the thing about Captain America. He kind of has a little bit of Deathstroke's intelligence, because you have to imagine with the super soldier serum, he's able to think faster than the average human.
Yeah. Whereas the thing is, I don't know. I feel like Cap kind of is, in terms of like his role in the universe, he's kind of the Superman.
Yeah, but I'm just saying in terms of like other abilities, he also has some qualities of Batman. That was
ability-wise very similar. Yes, like, I mean that's why I hope brought up the whole fight. I love how every time Batman and Cap has fought, they can't beat each other, like so evenly matched.
Honestly, that's believable, because I could see half and half going either way. Honestly, because Batman has fought and defeated super soldiers, but
he's defeated Bane. Like Batman knows how to like fight.
He's defeated Deathstroke, and Deathstroke is kind of where I put on the level of Captain America.
Yeah. Basically, Deathstroke is evil Captain America. For
sure. So I'm like, if he could beat Captain America, if he could beat Deathstroke by the law of transference, he can beat Captain America.
Oh God,
that's my power scaling thing.
But yeah. And I do love, like, we'll see, like, so basically what we have so far are, they're relatable. They can float between the top and the bottom rung of the superhero ladders, and also iconic rogues gallery. What else what do you think makes these two characters iconic and kind of stand head and shoulders over the rest?
Well, beyond the like iconic rogues gallery, it's just that they're people. Again, it's kind of like it's similar to why you had like why sidekicks like became such a regular thing with DC, because they're essentially pretty close to how we can get like the audience is able to like see the world through their eyes close enough, because not everyone is like ridiculously rich like Batman, but everyone does not have powers. And with Spider-Man, everyone kind of goes through a lot of the same struggles as Peter Parker, like trying to make a date, but having 18 different things going on right now.
Yeah, and
Spider-Man, though, is editorial is determined to ruin the characters' relationships.
Okay, actually, yeah, let's kind of get into that section.
Because honestly, it's another similarity with Batman.
Okay, so we talked about the positives of each character. Let's talk about the negatives. Like, what's holding each character back? With Spider-Man, Jared was talking about how Spider-Man's greatest villain is editorial, and I agree with him. But what do you think are some of like the downside of Spider-Man? Like, what are like the bad parts of the character, the lore, or whatever?
It's really, and the same thing with, honestly, here's the problem, and I've said this on my channel as well. The problem with like Batman, and same thing with Spider-Man, they're not allowed to grow. And what I mean by that is like if they go through a character defining moment, like if they have actual character development, either editorial or the fan base will want them to revert back to the way the character was when they got into comics and lose all of that character development. And then we go through the same thing all over again. They're not allowed to advance.
I would say the greatest problem with Batman is he has no consistent tone. Like with Spider-Man, you pretty much know exactly who Spider-Man is. Yes, we've had different variations of him, but the Spider-Man, like the Tom Holland version, is essentially very similar to like Garfield, Tobey Maguire version. There's differences, but they're very like tonally wise, they're essentially the same. Whereas with Batman, try and compare Adam West to Ben Affleck, which
honestly, you know what's the ironic part?
No, I have to say this. Adam West actually liked Ben Affleck as Batman.
Yeah, I was about to say, you know what's kind of funny? Of the portrayals of Batman, those two would actually be kind of similar, because Adam West has straight up killed people. Sometimes you just can't get. You know what's kind of funny? If Adam West has trouble getting rid of a bomb, you know what Ben Affleck would say? Just throw it at them.
So I actually have a clip to show you after we're done recording here that you're probably going to enjoy. Like there was actually an episode of The Big Bang Theory where they had Adam West. They're talking about their Batmans, and he actually says he likes the Ben Affleck version. Yeah, I would play it, but we will get copyright struck if I play it. So I'll show it to you after the stream. But yeah. So Batman, you have wildly different tones. And the problem is there's not really one singular like take on Batman. There is a singular take on Spider-Man, and I think that really helps the brand. But the thing is, there's a lot of different takes on Batman that all kind of have their claim to legitimacy. You have some of the sillier versions, you have some of the serious stuff, you have the shades in between. And the problem is, a lot of them, in their own kind of way, are all valid. And I think that does hurt the character to a degree. But at the same time, it's kind of also a strength. Because you can put Batman in so many different ways, so many different permutations, I think it's both a strength and a weakness.
Well, yeah, and they said this in the DC documentary when they're talking about Adam West. Like, you can put all... Now, the fans won't always, like, embrace them. And here's the thing. I always think of the wise, sage words of Zack Snyder whenever he talked, because he was responding to criticism.
I mean, Zack Snyder's a genius. So.
Well, yeah, he was responding to when people said he like ruined Batman and Superman, and you know what he said? Here's the thing: if these characters can be ruined by one characterization, maybe they're not that strong characters.
Here's my response to all that.
All right, everyone. Chill.
Now there's an interpretation.
There you go. He makes a good point because it's like, yeah, one version of the character is not going to break these versions of the character. If you think that, then you have zero faith in these characters.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm just having fun. So yeah, let's kind of start wrapping things up here. So, Jared, what are your final thoughts? And also, where can people find you, and what do you got going on?
You can find me at Comics League on YouTube, where I talk about A, how much I love Zack Snyder, B, how much I love Superman and Wonder Woman, and C, how much I hate Lois Lane with the fiery passion of 1,000 dying stars. And I want to go really dramatic with that. And I just uploaded, currently today, I reshared the link to a live stream that Britt and I did where we talked about how Superman and Wonder Woman were portrayed in the Timverse, the good, and in case of Wonder Woman, the mostly bad.
The good, the bad, and the cringy.
The good, the bad, and the Bruce Timm. And then I had to. In the case of Barbara Gordon and Batman. And yeah, exactly. And so Under Two Capes, I'm going to be going a little more into detail. Obviously, the old man will be there on why Batman sells so well. Because here's the thing. Batman practically finances DC. And it was kind of funny. One more similarity for Batman and Spider-Man. They practically finance the entire of their respective companies.
That was the plan. Not a great plan.
So this episode goes live on Wednesday. On Friday, we will be having the Friday Night Frenzy. We're talking about Cobra Kai Season 6. Saturday, we have our Witcher 3 stream. It's going to be freaking awesome. And then week after that, we have, for the Friday Night Frenzy, we have Top Gun. We're talking our Friday night feature. We've got the Need for Speed. And yeah. So thank you, everyone, for joining us. So glad to get ComixWatch up and running again. Screw you, Jared. Thank you everyone for joining us. Wonder Bad is canon, and I love you all.